In this lecture, I'll be explaining to you how I determine my higher time frame narrative, and this idea of a narrative is something that most traders are pretty lost with, and so I'll be giving you a few key things to look out for in order to determine which direction we're going to be trading in. And at the end, I'll go over a few chart examples as well to solidify these concepts in your head, and then it's your job to study it and ingrain it into your trading after watching the video. Before we dive into how to determine our higher time frame narrative, we need to define what our significant areas or key levels are going to be. This is so we bring simplicity and clarity, because if we have a big range of factors that can influence our bias for a higher time frame idea, it becomes too noisy, and these conflicting ideas will only negatively impact your confidence. We can use the universal model of external range liquidity and internal range liquidity, or in other words, swing highs, lows and gaps. When either ERO or IRO is engaged, we can then anticipate the other one to be targeted, and this theory is completely fractal and can be seen on any time frame. And then between this transition of ERO and IRO, and then vice versa, we have something called a market maker model occurring on the lower time frame, and it's our job to identify when the smart money reversal of the market maker model will occur, or in other words, the moment at which we pivot from either ERO to IRO or IRO to ERO. And this is done with our phases of price, candle profiling, and cracking correlations. The phases of price will be used to dissect the higher time frame narrative further and vet when this approach fails, and we'll go into this in the next section of the lecture. And candle profiling was covered in the previous lecture on YouTube, so make sure you go and watch that first. We can use the phases of price to filter the universal model, and it's going to be the biggest clue to what our higher time frame bias is. We have 4 phases of price, which are expansion, consolidation, retracement, and reversal, and we can use these phases to determine where price will trade to, or essentially what the next phase of price will be, and each phase has their own purpose. It's important for us to understand what each phase looks like so we can accurately identify them. So expansion is just going to be our candles that occur with speed and displacement, and they're going to look like the big candles with small wicks. Consolidations will look like bunched up candles with lack of displacement and direction, with price being stuck within a range. Retracements are similar to consolidations and they hold the same purpose. After an expansion leg, if we get a lethargic move lower against the expansion, we can consider it to be a retracement, and we can mechanically determine this by gauging how many candles it takes to create a sell to move in a retracement compared to how many candles it takes to make the same move in an expansion. And then finally, reversals are quite easy to identify. All we're looking for is a V-shape in price, which is expansion met with expansion at a key level. The phase we want to be trading is expansion, and this under the right context is going to tell us the direction of price alone. Each of the other phases begin with expansion, and we want to observe what price does after expanding into a key level to determine where price will likely trade next. When we trade into our key level, being ERO or IRO, we need to observe the phases of price that we get. Typically, when we expand away from the key level without stalling, we can consider this a reversal phase, creating our V-shape, but in order to truly identify this as a reversal phase, we need to require something called a 2-stage cracking correlation, and we're looking for 2 SMTs or an SMT paired with a precision swing point. And this validates our true reversal, and we can consider us to trade to the opposing key level, being IRO if we reverse from a swing point, and ERO if we reverse from a gap. On the other hand, if we fail to expand away from the key level, and we get a consolidation or retracement phase of price, this is when we can continue trading through the key level. These phases are signs of continuation, and we can look for new key levels beyond the key level that we failed to reverse from. And this is how we can filter when the universal model will fail to play out at a particular key level using the phases of price. The next filter we can use is candle profiles. This can be used together with the phases of price. By profiling a higher time frame candle, we can time when expansions and reversals will occur. The first question we need to ask ourselves is if we have a protected high or low of the candle, and then we can determine a bias once establishing a high or low, and then look to trade towards the unestablished high or low of that higher time frame candle. Without an established high or low, we cannot look to place a trade, and we need to be patient for one to form. The highest probability protected highs and lows of a candle is going to be when it aligns with the higher time frame phases of price. As for what constitutes an established high or low of a candle, I've covered this in the candle profiling lecture on this channel, but in short, we can use two-stage Kraken correlations, our relevant key levels, defined through the universal model and quarterly theory, meaning we're referring to time-based areas of ERL and IRL, like the weekly, daily, session and 90-minute cycle highs and lows. When we see SMT forming at these levels, paired with a second stage Kraken correlation, we can frame that high or low to be protected, implying that that's the pivot and will not return there. When we see expansion following the Kraken correlation, we can then be confident in our high time frame narrative, and I'll be going over some chart examples as well, so stay tuned. Once we determine the higher time frame narrative, this is when we can look for models aligning with this narrative and the true expansions will occur in line with it, and moves against this narrative can still be traded, but we can expect them to be short-lived as they are just going to be retracements. And so for the first chart example, we're on the daily time frame for the indices triad, and you can see on the previous day we formed a reversal into expansion candle, and if you don't know what that is, we covered that in the previous YouTube lecture, and we broke the SMT that we had on the highs on YM. And so we can expect this to give some sort of a retracement, but overall we'd like to continue trading higher since we don't expect an SMT break to give a true reversal. And so let's go into a lower time frame to profile the daily candle to see if we can get a move aligned with this idea. So now we're on the 6-hour time frame and we're profiling the daily candle, and what we can see is that we do in fact have an SMT on the highs, but is this going to be of relevance? No, it won't be, because we can see the phase of price we're getting after forming this SMT is consolidation, and therefore we're going to be disregarding it and treating it as a sign of continuation. But if we want to trade higher, we need an established low of the day, and as we can see, we currently have failure swings to this current low of the day, and although we have a 6-hour SMT fill, we're going to have to break this down on a lower time frame to assess whether this is going to be a true reversal or just consolidation. So let's do that now. And so now we're on the 30-minute time frame, and this dotted line we have on the left on NQ is the 6-hour SMT fill that formed, and clearly we just consolidated after forming this SMT, and although we traded higher, we need to consider what the phase of price is at the SMT that forms it. And on all assets we consolidate before trading higher, and so we can not consider this an established low of the day. And going into the 9:30 volatility driver, you wouldn't be expecting us to trade higher away from it. So if I play price, we trade lower into this low of the day and we actually form an SMT. And if we continue to play price, we trade away from this low of the day towards the established high of the day. However, if we look at YM, clearly we're failing to reverse from this low. And so although we may have a low of the day confirmed on both NQ and ES, we cannot consider this a low of the day quite yet on YM. And so if I play the next 30-minute candle, we actually form another low of the day, forming an SMT at the 90-minute candles, and also this range low on YM. So if we mark this out, we can expect this to be a trigger to trade higher to the unestablished high of the day and the range high on YM. And so if I play price, we in fact trade higher from here, while NQ and ES almost consolidate to allow YM to catch up. And this is a very common sequence. And of course, at the lows, we have cracks and correlations as well, supporting a true reversal to form. And we have these on the 15-minute time frame and the 1-hour time frame. And these PSPs mean a lower time frame decoupling. So as you can see with YM trading lower and expanding lower at the 9:30 open, and we're reversing on the other candles, this means that there's going to be a precision swing point forming. And so let's get on to the next chart example. And so for the next chart example, of course starting on the higher time frame to assess the phases of price, we can see we've traded into a range low and formed SMT there, expanding away, and we've completed this range protocol trading into the range high. Now we can expect a new phase of price, most likely consolidation or at least a retracement, as let's go onto a lower time frame to profile the daily candle to see if we have a daily profile aligning with this phase of price. So now on the 1 hour chart, we're looking to profile the daily candle, and what can we see so far? Well, at the low of the day, we formed a failure swing and no relevant SMT, and so the expansion high we're getting on NQ and ES we can consider to be fake, and we're most likely going to be trading to this unestablished low of the day. This means we need to have an established high of the day to trade away from. Going into this 9 AM candle now, we can see NQ and ES have closed up closed, and then YM is giving this down close candle being a precision swing point, which is our first stage cracking correlation. And if we look at how close NQ and ES are closing to the high of this candle, we can most likely expect an SMT to form at the highs, being a 90-minute sequential SMT. And this is something that we can consider an established high of the day. And if we go into the lower time frame with the right phases of price, we can look to see us trade down lower to the unestablished low of the day. So now on the 3-minute time frame, we can see that both NQ and ES traded into the previous 90-minute candle, forming changes in the state of delivery on YM being the weakest asset. We can expect the 9:30 open to deliver to this unestablished low of the day. However, on the higher time frame, being the 4 hour and 6 hour time frame, we can see there are no fair value gaps being presented, and typically retracements, which is the phase of price we're expecting, are capped off within gaps, and these fair value gaps are non-existent, which means that we're most likely going to get a new phase of price at this unestablished low of the day. And so if you're in any sort of trade before this 9:30 open, once 9:30 plays, we can expect a new phase of price, which is why we're getting this decoupling between the assets. And so for this final chart example, we can see on ES we come very close to trading into this relevant swing high, and we're delivering from this SMT that formed on YM, followed by the expansion away from the weekly open. So we can either frame a trade towards this high, or if we trade into the high, we can frame a trade away from it. And this is also supported by YM failing to manipulate the relevant high that we traded into and continued expanding through. And so of course we need a daily profile to align with this, and so let's go on to a lower time frame now. We can see on the 15-minute time frame that at the 9:30 open, we traded higher on NQ and DS, trading into our drawn liquidity, but on YM we've decoupled and we've started expanding lower. And so our protocol for navigating a decoupling between the markets is we need to look for relevant key levels and assess the phases of price that we get at these key levels. Because of the decoupling, we already have our precision swing points, which are lower time frame decouplings, so all we need is to find an SMT at a relevant key level to confirm that PSP, and of course confirmed by the lower time frame phases of price. And because we have a 15-minute PSP, let's go on to the 1-minute time frame to see if NQ and ES are telling us the true direction, or if YM is telling us the true direction. So now on the 1-minute time frame, we can actually see on the previous 15-minute candle, ES and NQ both failed to manipulate their key levels, but when we trade into a key level towards the end of a candle, we can expect the next candle to form SMT at that previous candle's high or low, and then reverse from there, confirming a reversal. And that's what we see here. We see ES and NQ both trade into the previous 15-minute candle high, being the previous 15-minute PSP's high, and form SMT. And the validation for this is if we reverse within 2 candles, which is what we do. And we can then look to trade the weakest asset lower, which is YM, which is also failing to manipulate the current low of the day. So let's have a look and see where we can be targeting on YM after trading this change in state of delivery. On the 6-hour time frame, we can see that we have this large fair value gap that YM can potentially trade into, and after we expand into a key level, we can expect a new phase of price, in this case being a retracement, and these are capped off in our fair value gaps. So hopefully this all made sense, and if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below.